The rich kid survived alone on a deserted island for 5 years. When he finally returned, he didn't just become a master archer. Even climbing walls dozens of meters high was effortless for him, and the reason he climbed up there was to retrieve a bullet embedded in the wall. As for how the bullet got there, we have to go back a few days earlier. Since returning to the city, Quinn had been following the list of criminals his father left behind, eliminating the corruption eating away at the city one by one. And tonight's target was a crooked businessman dealing in fire safety equipment, because the fake, low-quality products he sold had already caused dozens of families to die in fires.
I have armed security inside. All I have to do is call out.
Go ahead. They can't hear you.
But what Quinn didn't know was that while he was passing judgment on the man, on a building behind him, a sniper rifle was also aimed at the businessman.
James Holder.
Quinn dodged just in time, but he was still shot in the shoulder. He didn't stay to fight. Instead, he returned straight to his base and treated the wound. Then he took out his father's notebook of crimes. Even though he wasn't the one who personally killed the businessman, he still crossed the name off the list. But at that moment, Quinn suddenly felt dizzy. It seemed the sniper's bullet was coated with poison. He immediately opened the box he had brought back from the island and grabbed a bundle of herbs, stuffing them into his mouth. But after swallowing a couple of gulps of water, he still passed out. His thoughts drifted back to 5 years earlier. Back then, after being stranded on the island, the first thing he did was prepare to bury his father's body. But soon he discovered a notebook in his father's pocket. At that time, the pages were completely blank, except for a mysterious symbol on the first page. Quinn didn't think much of it. All he wanted was to lay his father to rest. But just then, an arrow suddenly flew toward him and struck his body. Enduring the intense pain, he turned around, only to see a hooded man already aiming another arrow at him. Moments later, Quinn lost consciousness from the pain. When he woke up again, he was inside a cave. The hooded man soon walked in. Quinn kept asking who he was and why he had shot him. At the time, Quinn didn't understand Chinese. He only knew the man wanted him to eat the herbs. Seeing that the man didn't seem hostile, Quinn swallowed the herbs. And while he was distracted, the hooded man pulled the arrow straight out of his body. When Quinn woke up again, the hooded man had already fallen asleep. At this point, Quinn didn't know whether the man was friend or foe. All he could do was leave first and figure things out later. But the island was filled with traps. Not long after escaping, Quinn was caught in a massive net and hoisted into the air. Fortunately, before long, the hooded man found him. Although Quinn couldn't understand what he was saying, the man had saved him several times already, so he clearly meant no harm. And with nowhere else to go, Quinn had no choice but to follow the hooded man. Not long after they left, a squad of soldiers arrived at the area. Seeing that the traps had caught nothing, they turned around and left. At that moment, the unconscious Quinn finally woke up